See, and that makes it official. So,
Yeah.
so Rich, if you would like to introduce our guests, and then we already did our AV check, so everything should be ready to go.
Very good. Very good. Well, you're looking at on the screen right now is Pete, even though it says Matt underneath him. He's with InVid, Innovative Video Technologies out of New York. They are a camera supplier, along with what they're going to be talking about today, the Aura Air. And we've been doing business with them for a number of years. Good product, great support, good company to deal with. So I think between Pete and maybe Matt will be stepping in shortly, they're going to be doing the presentation for us. Take it away, guys.
Okay. Oh, all right. So good morning. Thank you, Rich, and thank you all for the invite to join you guys. It's a pleasure to be with you. So today we're going to talk about a product in air purification, not your typical security product, but as Dale and I were discussing earlier, you know, the industry is evolving into many, many different things, especially over the last 18 months we've been dealing with the pandemic. So we have a PowerPoint presentation that was covered in a video. We're going to play this video, which is just under 11 minutes long. I can answer all the questions and we'll discuss it further. But I think first, you know, why air purification? So when all this started many, many months ago, you guys can all remember that, hey, wear gloves, wipe down everything, leave your groceries in the garage for 2 days before you bring it in, packages, deliveries, all that kind of stuff. Then we've learned that, you know what, it wasn't so much touch that transmitted the COVID, it was the airborne particles. And while we were social distancing 6 feet, we know, or scientifically they prove that these particles travel way further than that. So air purification is a big thing. But now that our pandemic may be hopefully ending real soon, why would you need it for the future? Well, this device, unlike so many other air purifiers, really has 3 specific technologies in it that cover a whole extra realm of stuff. So bad odors, carbon monoxide. Also, the unique thing about this product versus anything that you may buy consumer-wise is that it has a phone app and there's also software available. So the phone app will give you a daily report of what the air quality is, and the reporting software, if you had many of these units, as an example, if you were a hotel and had 100 units, you want to be able to generate reports for specific rooms, and you also want to be able to get those alerts as to what unit in what room would require filter cleaning or filter replacement, right? So it'll give you those maintenance alerts. But for right now, I think we'll run the video and then I'll take all your questions and comments after.
All right, hope everybody can hear me okay. My name is Matt Troiano. I'm the Director of Sales for InVid Tech, and I wanted to welcome you to today's Aura Air webinar. During today's webinar, a few of us will be going over some different aspects of the Aura Air filter. I'll be doing a brief overview of the unit, then we'll be taking questions at the end. This quote from the United Nations is from 2019. Indoor air pollution is a global public emergency. It threatens everyone. Obviously, pollution has been a problem for a while, but before 2020, I don't think many would be interested in sitting in on a webinar on air purification, but here we are. Everyone is focused on cleaner air for our day-to-day lives. I want to take you through 4 steps that show you a data-driven air quality platform based on user algorithm. First thing is the Aura Air detects indoor and outdoor air quality based on real-time monitoring through an array of smart sensors. Indoors, it detects smoke, CO, CO2, VOC, PM 2.5, PM 10, temperature, and humidity. Outdoors detects most of these, plus allergies, ozone, and the weather. I know some people are probably wondering how an indoor unit detects the outdoor weather, pollen count, and pollution levels. Or Air has partnered with a company to provide global environmental data. Their data has been tested for accuracy by unaffiliated scientific bodies and regulatory-driven healthcare brands. Bottom line, the information is highly accurate. Number 2, using the Air algorithm, you can control, define, and modify the settings, changing the functionality of your Air devices according to what matters most to your business. The software is extensive, and I will let EJ and Dana walk you through all the functions of the B2B software. Air filters and disinfects air through 4 unique stages. The first is the pre-filter. That is what captures the large particles of dust, pollen, insects, animal hair, and other large particles. Cleaning this is very easy, as needed typically once per month. Simply, you'll just be able to rinse it underwater. Next is the ray filter. That is the Air patented filter. I will go over this in a second. I want to show you a close-up view. The sterilizer generates positive and negative ions like those found in nature that purify and freshen indoor air by eliminating the harmful pollutants we previously mentioned. I have a slide to show you a zoomed-in view of this as well. Lastly, the Air filter has UVC LEDs that are effective in neutralizing bacteria, viruses, and parasites by destroying the proteins on the cell membrane. Okay, back to the patented ray filter. This filter consists of 3 parts. The first part is the HEPA filter, which is known as an efficiency standard among filters. Next is the carbon layer. This layer absorbs VOCs and bad odors, such as when someone is wearing a little too much cologne. And lastly, the smart copper fabric. This is the part that filters viruses, bacteria, and more. Depending on the quality of the environment, this typically needs to be replaced every 6 months. Below are some of the charts, and we'll be sending out a copy of the slides to you so you can review these at your leisure. If you are watching a recorded version of this webinar, email sales@invidtech.com to request the slides. Here's a close-up view of the sterilizer. You can see the chart with substance removal. Many are at 99% and most are above 90%. In the lower left-hand corner, you can see an experiment that was completed in a refrigerator with and without the sterilizer. The difference is pretty incredible. Look at the difference between the control plates with and without the components of the Air filter. It's definitely a big difference. So on the left with it, and on the right you see with the ray filter on there. The sterilizer. We have some coronavirus clinical trials available. So take a look at the samples and the coronavirus reduction ratio, all above 99% reduction. That is incredible. The tests were done at the Surgical Oncology Laboratory, Department of Surgery, the Haim Sheba Medical Center. This hospital ranked twice in the top 10 around the world. Okay, so that is a lot of information, but it's important for you to know how the filter works. It isn't just some hocus pocus. There are scientific aspects that prove this filter works versus some random filter you might pick up at a store somewhere. Okay, back to the steps. Step number 4, you get real-time data. The air quality data is monitored in real time to provide smart insights and recommendations. You get air quality measurements within the property, customized insights and recommendations, enhanced energy efficiency. Operation is according to the presence of the people in the room. CO2 levels are as a concentration index. Again, we'll be looking at the software and we will give you a chance to try the QR code so you can see the quality of air with a couple of units. The unit is plug and play. It's very easy to install and start using, and it's Wi-Fi capable. And you can imagine the applications for a filter like this: hotels, schools, offices, hospitals, homes, buses, nursing homes. And here are a few of the schools and universities that have installed the unit, along with a few well-known hotels, so the Sheraton and Hilton, and some commercial buildings as well. And of course, hospitals that we mentioned earlier. So here's a live look at our dashboard with the unit in our office here in Hauppauge. So it gives you the air quality level outdoors, the weather, humidity, the wind, the pollen. Is the graph that shows today, and the AQI levels, the PM PM10 levels, PM2.5s, and the VOCs. And then if we take a look at the view, you'll see a live view of our office here. So this is at a good rating, the air quality at 100, by 500. And we're going to spray into the device now so you can see how it affects the readings and then how it goes back down. On the left-hand side is the dashboard. On the right-hand side, you'll see the mobile app. So you'll see it's go and switch from moderate and it'll go up to the different levels up to hazardous and work its way back down. The app on the right-hand side, I wanted to show you both platforms. So this would be when you're using your phone. And then on the left-hand side is the dashboard, which is utilizing the software. So you can see it in real time as they work together here. You'll see it go up to hazardous and it'll work its way back down as it's purifying the air. So it does take a little bit of time when the filter kicks on, but you'll see it work back down from hazardous, back down to the next level, and then back down to a safe air quality level. So on the right, you can see it went all the way down to low. On the right, it's down to low. On the left, it's already back down to 4, and it'll work its way back down. You may notice that the app and dashboard are seconds out of sync. That can be due to network and Wi-Fi speeds. Nothing to worry about. They are still showing the same info. The video footage is live. The filter did its job and the air quality is back to a good level.
Hey, how's it going? This is Mike with InVid. I just wanted to take a moment to show you guys where you can access some of the information for the Aura Air filter. So fastest way is going to be if you go to invidtech.com and go to the search bar, type in Aura. It'll come right up, just select it there. And another way to do it would be if you go into products, under specialty, and select Aura Air. That would be another way to get to it. But getting back to this page here, this has the features, it has specifications. If you look here, it has all the different information here. Has ordering info, and then it also has under downloads and support, you can access the spec sheet. If you're interested in getting a PDF printout. And then we also have the white papers and the clinical certifications that were discussed during the webinar. So if you go here and choose that, white papers can be accessed here, clinical certifications, and the meaning of the sensor levels. This is a useful document. If you click on this, this will take you through what all the different meanings are for the things discussed. And this is a PDF printout that you can share with yourself or your customers. And then what we also have here, you can access under description here is the support page. If you click on this, it'll give you the different options here. You can see the mini, which we'll be going over at another point in time. But this is the download center for the Aura Air. Here you have registration, knowledge base, videos, manuals. Again, the white papers, this would be another way to access these. Software and access, mobile device. But I wanted to take you guys to the knowledge base for a moment. If you click on knowledge base here, you can see this is the knowledge base for all InVid products. You have the different series of products. Takes you right to the Aura Air page. And you know, it goes through different things such as connecting and pairing your Aura Air device. Click on this. You know, there's videos here, step-by-step instructions. So this is really a very helpful area to access, you know, different things on the device, setup buttons, how do you power it off, things on the app. There's some information on the mini here. And then this is the business side, the dashboard, some of the aspects that we looked at today. So it just takes you through some of the different parts of it. And again, under technology here, the air quality and sensor measurements. So this is another way to access. So you can actually see just what everything means. And it'll help you to understand, help you to explain better to your customers as well. So I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.
It's the end. Okay. All right, gentlemen, that's the end of the video. That was clips taken from probably a 45 minute webinar that we did. Covered a lot of information. Obviously, we edited a lot out, mostly about all the software stuff. So if anyone has interest, we can definitely send that to you. You just need to let me know. So from our website, there are places to access all the information that anyone would need to know about this device. So on that, I'll take questions, comments, and we'll discuss.
This is where they all have to figure out how to unmute themselves again.
Okay. So, well, Dale, you're on. You got a question? You've seen it?
So I guess my question is take me through, you know, what kind of customer would you anticipate either calling and looking at this? Obviously, you kind of highlighted some of the key ones, but what do you see as kind of the typical impetus that's going to start somebody down this path?
Well, my personal feeling is I think moving forward for the future with what we've learned and to be just generally healthier, almost every place should have this. Any public environment and any business. You want to protect your employees. You want to protect your customers. You want to protect your family. So even a unit at home might be good if some people in the family have allergies. This eliminates allergens. So it's really wide open. And even though it's not a security product, I think it falls within the realm of trying to help protect your client. And this would do that for a health reasons, right? So Aura Air is an Israeli manufacturer. They have sold this product all over the world with great success. Probably fortunate that they're brand new to the USA, so we're just kind of getting started with them. It's not a name that's well known here, and there should be great opportunities for this. But around the globe, again, hospitals, businesses, buses, public buses, ambulances, schools, bars, restaurants, you name it. It's been very big in lots and lots of countries.
So if you're a commercial client, I mean, I guess the first question I would have is this the kind of thing that you're placing one in a centralized location? Is it one per room? I mean, how do you determine the quantity or the placement of the devices?
Well, the formula they have, it will run through all the air in a 600 square foot space, and that takes 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So based on that, if you were an office, you may need a couple. If you're a waiting room for a doctor, those are usually pretty small, right? You could throw one in. Dale, I could see the room behind you. Put one unit there, and you're going to be well protected.
Right. And I can't remember if Rich mentioned this when we initially discussed it, or if I read this from some of the literature you had sent me, but I know that there was I remember a comment being made that one of the greater advantages of thinking about things like this is now that we're bringing employees back into the workspace. One of the more common things you ran into, with employees and offices is if one person, got a cold, eventually everyone got the cold, or if one person had the flu, everyone eventually got the flu. And one of the advantage with cleaner air is you're not spreading that around, so you're creating a healthier environment for everyone.
Right. I think as the country starts to open up, as New York did, we're actually doing very well. People are going back into the city, back to work, and for the last couple of weeks, as integrators knew that was coming, their clients are like, "Hey, I need to put something in, and I need it done in a week." Because people are coming back. The people who are coming back are saying, we haven't been there in over a year. What have you done to protect us? Right. And so this is something that can be installed very easily and will protect employees, customers, students in school, etc. So.
And I'm assuming all there is power to the unit, or I mean, it's obviously it was Wi-Fi, so.
Yeah, you need to have Wi-Fi and, again, so it's Israeli made, so everything is in metric, which not really fully up to speed on that, but call it roughly a 6-foot power cord that comes with the unit. On the website, under the support for OR air, there's a document that specifies the optimal place that these could be installed, wall or ceiling, but you want it to be like 2 feet away from any window, stuff like that. So yeah, 110 volt outlet and some wall space to mount it on. That's it.
And are you seeing these professionally installed or do it yourself? Are the dealers selling them and their end users putting them in, or is the dealer putting them in?
Well, right now I don't have a lot of history on that, as this is still very, very new.
Sure.
The units that I've sold to integrators, they've used for demos, and somebody has taken it and installed it in their house.
Oh.
And they're running the app and stuff. And I could say too from a demo. So I happen to be a smoker during the winter months. I don't go outside. I smoke in my basement, and I took a Aura Air home for a weekend and put it in my basement. When I smoked a cigarette, it kicks into high gear to eliminate that smoke. And at the end of my weekend, though, what a tremendous difference in the overall odor of the room, right? It didn't have that musty, smoky odor. Very clean. So I was sold on that after that.
I was gonna say that'd be one way to test it. That's for sure, because that's an easy one to measure.
How we tested it here at the office. So again, it takes any impurities that it senses in the air and tries to eliminate that. So again, during the pandemic, there was no shortage supply of hand sanitizer everywhere. So if we sprayed hand sanitizer on a hand and kind of just did this while we were close to the unit, in a few seconds, it picked up that odor, and you can hear the fan kick into a little higher gear to eliminate that. The unit is actually very quiet. You could put it in a library. When it does sense something, the fan does go into a higher gear, and it gets a little bit louder, but still in an office environment or a school classroom, it's not going to be a distraction.
So you had mentioned, sorry, go ahead.
Wi-Fi. And just real quick, you only connect your Wi-Fi. There's no way to tie it into any other device. I mean, because I saw on your spec sheet you had NVRs at the bottom. I don't need, and obviously we're in the alarm business. Is there any way to tie it into an alarm if you want some type of communication between it besides through your Wi-Fi and the app on your phone?
No, there's no integration from the Aura Air to any kind of alarm system or video system. There's no network connection. It's just on the Wi-Fi. But as far as an alarm indication, so if you had this in your home and you had the mobile app set up on your phone, and again, you would need to have the phone close to you. And if there was a carbon monoxide, your furnace had a problem, whatever, you have carbon monoxide in your home, it gets to a certain level, the app will send you an alert. But certainly not really meant to replace
To call
or
the
even
fire department. Exactly.
even
It's just to warn you.
compete with an alarm system, right? And a carbon monoxide detector. I mean, more or less. So I have the app here for the unit that's in our office. Every morning I wake up, there's a little message. Good morning, Pete. The air quality, the indoor air quality at InVid today is excellent. The outdoor air quality is, the pollen count is moderate. So I kind of know what kind of day I'm going to have when I go outside and how I'm going to be inside.
Very good.
So I guess there's my next question is, so the unit's mounted inside, how is it sensing outside?
So, not exactly sure all the technical details, but Aura Air has it set up so that globally they're getting information on outdoor indications.
Oh, okay.
How that's all being done, I'm not sure, but just like you can go on Google Earth and satellite image any place on the planet,
Right.
they're getting that information, and seems to be accurate to me.
And you raise a good point about the carbon monoxide, that even though it's not a listed, CO alarm, it would actually be a very good pre-tool, if you will, to let people know that they may have a problem that's starting. So it may be a situation where maybe it's time to come in and have your ductwork cleaned, or it's time to, and again, these are all spin-off benefits that don't necessarily tie in to us, but these are things that we could be conveying to our customers, saying, that here's some of what this information can be used for.
Sure.
Your furnace isn't as efficient as it could be, and these are the levels that we're seeing. Well, maybe that means it's time to call in the heating and cooling people and have them take a look at the furnace, or have them come in and clean the ductwork, or have this, or change its filter, or things like that could just be spin-off benefits. Because again, if your furnace or your air conditioner is running more efficiently because of this, well, you've ultimately saved your customer money, which is a benefit. So,
right. And again, so you're a business owner, your office is closed for the weekend. Should something happen with anything in the air, you'll be able to see that. If it's in your home and you're away on vacation for a week, you'll be able to see what's going on. Again, if you had a problem with the furnace, right? Carbon monoxide is at a high level. So the filter's going to try and take care of that, but you're going to get alerted that, hey, I got to get somebody home and take a look at this before we come into the house at 11 and go right to bed and go to sleep. That would be bad, right? So lots of benefits on that. I've heard from people who have it in their house, right? People have bought it because, my daughter's got allergies, and my son has asthma, and just better indoor home air quality makes a big difference.
You mentioned about the filter changing every 6 months.
Right, so the front of the unit, and the thing about this unit too is to change any filter, what they've done is once you mount it to the wall, there's no other tools you're ever gonna need. You don't need a screwdriver to pull off the filter. The front cover removes by magnets. And then you have the pre-filter, and that just unsnaps, and you rinse that underneath water and let it dry, and that's how you clean that. You put it back. The circular ray filter that you guys saw, same procedure. The whole front or air cover pops off by magnets. Then you pull out that filter, put a replacement filter in, put the cover back on. So it's very easy. Excuse me, the app and the software will tell you based on usage when the filter needs to be replaced or the pre-filter needs to be cleaned. So you'll get a maintenance alert, which I wish my home heating and air conditioning system had that, because when do you guys ever think about checking those filters and replacing, right? So you'll get that alert. And the recommended, I guess, or average replacement time for the ray filter is 6 months.
Good.
Alan, I think you're muted still.
I think he fell. There he is. Still muted.
No, he's still muted.
Can't hear you.
That's my favorite part of Zoom calls is people are muted. And
There's got to be a hand signal for you're on mute.
Anticipation of the question.
well, I know Rob had a question that he was going to jump in there a second ago. So
Yeah,
Rob,
so, yeah, a couple questions. So you had mentioned like on buses and in ambulances and so forth. How are those units powered if these things are 120 volts?
So Aura Air has a kit, I'll call it, for motor vehicles. That's how they've been doing it. We haven't seen that yet. I would have to get more information on that, but they've been doing that. I think their latest thing was they did a whole bunch of ambulances in Poland, and they did a few hundred buses, public buses in London. And we do have, they're very good. We do have lots of good marketing articles and case studies done. But again, they're brand new to the US market. So I don't have any huge US marketing success to share, which is a good thing, right? You guys can go find those customers and create that.
yeah.
So one other question: if a school put this in and they put it, say, in the bathrooms of a school, would this alert on, like, if the give you some type of alert if like the kids are going in there and smoking or vaping?
Yes, but unlike the smoke or vape detector, it will not tell you that, hey, this unit at this location is detecting vaping. It'll tell you this unit at this location is detecting a higher concentration of whatever particle is in there that it's eliminating.
And can those alerts in the app be set to a different threshold for different people if they want, or are those alerts fixed at a certain threshold?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if you can change that. I think if it's well, from what I know, so the Aura Air has 6 sensors in it for different things, and these 6 sensors update to the app every 10 seconds. But can you change a threshold or uh, at a certain threshold. You know, Pete should get the alert at a higher threshold. Dale should get the alert. I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm not sure about that.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Well, and I think this is, as we talked about earlier before we got started, is, you know, this is again, some newer technologies. It's a new mindset for the way, you know, we do things. You know, I mean, when they first came out with smoke detectors, it's like, what do you mean there's a detector that's going to tell me there's smoke in a room? You know, until then, we didn't have those kind of things. Well, I think, you know, we're going to learn as much about these things over the next 6 months as we did over the last 6 months. And, you know, just like thermal imaging cameras and just like, you know, all the different, you know, evolutions that we've seen over the last couple of years. You know, you'll find new ideas, we'll find new technologies that'll do things that we didn't anticipate. And like most manufacturers, if they can figure out how to sell something because they're going to add something, they figured those things out usually pretty quick. So,
So I would also mention that there is a way to make recurring revenue with this, right? If you know, if you bought one for your house, I don't think that you would want to renew the software after a year. It's probably too much information. The phone app, which is free, will give you everything you need to know. But if you're a school district, if you're a hospital, if you're a hotel, and you have many of these units, that's when the software, you would want to renew it. There's a fee for that per unit. So the integrator has the ability to resell that software or renew that software every year based on per unit. The prices are not set in stone; they're negotiable. So somebody who has 5 versus somebody who has 100, there's plenty of room to work with. The app, as I said, is always free. You have that forever. If you have the software for 1 year and you don't renew, you're just not able to log back into it again. Yeah, short and sweet on that. So you want to find those guys that might be interested in many units.
What is the cost on one? You know, just like the manufacturer's suggested price or something.
I'm going to defer all pricing. You guys be able to speak with Rich after that. I mean, for the, what do you, I'll just ask you, what do you think a unit like this would cost?
And Rich is muted.
You know what? The unit by itself without the software, just the unit itself is right around $500.
and that's dealer cost.
Correct. That's your cost. That's a dealer. That's our cost. That's us. That's your cost.
Yeah, but given what you're doing and the fact that it's, I mean, we're not talking about going to Home Depot and buying a $30 piece of something off the shelf either. I mean, you're talking about a fair amount of technology with a fair amount of, you know, science involved. So,
Exactly.
you know, and the environments that you're talking about going into, you know, it's like anything else. You know, if they want a $30 something, well, then they're going to get a $30 result.
Right. And then they're not even know if it's working or not. The filters, you know, the filters are under $90 to replace. So you're right, Dale. It's a little bit more to it, and then there's a little bit more information you're getting out of it to tell you that, you know, the air you've got in your business, home, or whatever is safe and healthy.
Right.
Well, and I'll guarantee you, when you go to Sheraton and Marriott and these other places, believe me, that's not going to be their first. Is it going to be one of their questions? Yes. Is it their primary? No, because you know what? If people don't go and stay in their hotels, believe me, that's a bigger concern.
Absolutely.
So, even if it's not every room, even if it was just common area, the value to their marketing effort more than makes up for the cost.
Right. So something I'll mention as well, as we talk about hotels, and we have this set up here in our office front lobby. But if you have a picture of a QR code, so a visitor or a hotel guest gets into the lobby and it says, scan this code to see the current air quality of our hotel or room of InVid. And so they scan that in our phone, and they then get the app, which will send them the that circular. If you remember on the phone, it was like that circular indoor air quality is good. It goes all the way around, etc. So people checking into a hotel and be like, oh, wow, clean air. Let me check this out, right? Again, it's about protection, and I think at this point in time, still trying to make lots of people way more comfortable with what you've done in the space they're entering.
Yeah, and then and since using hotels as our point of discussion, we all know they're being beat. They were beat to death. They're trying to find their way back, and they are trying very hard to sell that message, that we're going in and we're doing this in every room, and we're doing this twice a day, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And to me, this just becomes one more piece of that puzzle. So
Sure.
Thanks. That's very informative. Thank you.
Yes, very good.
Okay. That's it then.
anyone else have any questions?
Nope. All right. Well, you know what? I appreciate it, gentlemen. We're finishing like right on schedule. So
Yep. So we as we said, this is recorded, so we will have this this will end up being posted to the association's website over the next couple of days. So if you do have staff that was unable to hear this presentation because they're out working, then they can come and listen to it, and then they'll go out and sell 100 of these, and then they'll make a whole lot of money for everybody. So
Absolutely.
sounds good.
Not me, but everyone else. So that.
Thanks, Pete.
Anybody have any questions on anything in general?
Nope.
It's a tough
Okay.
crowd, I'm telling you.
Well, gentlemen,
it's nice
gentlemen,
out.
thank you
They
so
all want
much.
to go outside.
Thank you so much. I hope you all have a most enjoyable day.
Thanks, Pete.
You guys
All right.
take care.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay.
All right. You guys have a good one.
Thanks, Dale.
Yep. I
Yep.
thought that
Thanks,
went,
guys.
Rich, I thought that went very well.
You know what? It went better than I felt yesterday when we hadn't had much of a conversation with him. I was a little concerned. I'm like, well, yeah, absolutely, Dale.
Well, there was a conversation or two today too. So
I bet there was. But yeah, he did a good job. I